Hello. Welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It, the podcast that nobody asked for, but we're sure as hell making it.
We're doing it anyway.
Woo! We are quickly approaching the end of our first season of Let's Talk About It. Maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just like, is this the same season?
It's our 10th episode.
Is it really? Oh my god. We popping big bottles tonight, boy.
I tried to make the best popping sound that I could.
That was pretty good.
Unfortunately, I don't have an actual bottle to pop, but I do have something to drink. What are you drinking tonight, my wonderful co-host?
Yes. As the co-hostess with the Moses, I'm Kylen, KyleWithAnN, in case you don't know. Tonight I made not necessarily a promise, but I gave someone my word. That's someone being friend of the channel, Arsqueef. I accidentally wounded him deeply on Twitter the other day when I didn't include fight milk as one of my favorite drinks. So I said tonight that I would drink some fight milk on the episode and mention it specifically. So I'm doing that. However, I have made a grave error because I have made this fight milk too stout.
Oh,
and
no.
all of this milk and all of this alcohol is affecting me in different ways.
Oh, no.
So that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
Well, I did not, during my stream today, finish my Monster and Gin that I made because pretty much all day I had like this really bad headache. Not a caffeine headache, which I typically get.
Oh, that's new.
It's just random headaches that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not super debilitating, but yeah, just annoying and painful.
Oof.
I mean, with all the caffeine and alcohol from the gin, it's putting me in a position. I think it's better. I hope.
What position is that?
Reverse cowgirl, I think.
God damn it. Same hat. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm not going to say it, though. I'm not going to go there. Everyone expects me to go there, but I'm going to rise above. But no.
Oh, no. We all know I don't have standards in my jokes.
Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About It, where we have no standards. That's why you get the content you get here.
The content that usually involves what we've done in RPGs during the past week. Which Kylen and I, we've started playing with a lot of different channels, lots of different creators, and unfortunately, we're usually busy whenever the other person is streaming, so we don't really have a chance to catch up on each other's games so far.
So
the past couple of weeks.
This is good enough time for us to inform each other as it is informing you all, y'all, as it will. But also, speaking of informing everyone, Connor, you've had some pretty big changes lately.
Yeah, within the past 2 days. Yeah, so yesterday, I sort of got promoted at work, which means that I have more money to spend on the thing that happened today, just today as of recording.
Let's talk about it.
So, because this is an audio-only piece of content, our wonderful listeners, our wonderful talkers, don't get to see the beautiful fox, coyote, German shepherd, just a hunk of goodness that's sitting on my couch next to me, sleeping so good, so pure. I now have a doggo. Her name is Lady.
Yes.
She's such a good lady. I've had her for like a whole 12 hours.
And if anything happens to her, I will kill everyone here and then myself.
you're not wrong.
But no, like, you have been talking about getting a dog for like the longest time.
For like 5 years.
Yeah, and you know, it's been maybe a couple of years since you've been able to feasibly do so, but like, walk me through it. How was today the day? How did you know it was her when you saw her? Please walk me through the story.
All right. Well, we'll talk about games real soon, but this is new and important content.
This is
right
crucial. Now. I need the deets.
So I've been, whenever I was like getting into like senior year of college and everything, my entire thing was just like, I'm so ready to get out of here so I can get an apartment that allows dogs, because no, not all apartments allow dogs, so that I can get a pupper and provide for a pupper. That was my one thing that was keeping me going.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever I actually got into one, it was a 1-bedroom. It was still fairly big, but it was just not conducive for having a bigger dog, especially not one that might have a lot of energy and need a lot of space. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to wait until I move into a 2-bedroom apartment. So I waited a year, and I moved into this apartment that I'm recording in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, okay, this is good. I'm gonna chill for a little bit. I'm gonna let my finances refill. I ended up going to Gen Con, which was a big financial hit last year.
But lots of fun.
But it was so much fun. I'm so happy to be going once again this year. But between Gen Con and everything else, it was always like, okay, I either am broke, or I'm about to go home or go to Louisiana and come back. I'm about to go to New York and come back. I'm about to go back to Louisiana and come back. It was always me being somewhere else for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then also not having any money. But last week I realized, like, hey, I don't really have to go anywhere until like Easter, so like early May. So this would probably be the best time to just like get a dog, have it stable for a little bit, and not have to worry about like dumping the dog off on a friend or finding someone to sit. This would be the best time for me. So I was asking friend of the channel, Camille does D&D.
Friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel, Camille does D&D. If she would help me go look for puppers, because like I know that she is very knowledgeable about the animal shelters in Austin. She's done some cat fostering in the past, so I knew that she would know which ones are good and everything. We were gonna go around Round Rock, up the like city just north of Austin. It's still in the metro area.
Yeah, suburb-ish.
Yeah. And go look around there. But I got there around like 10:30 and none of the things were open yet. So she was just like, oh, well, let's go to Austin Animal Center because it'll be like a 30-minute drive over there and it'll be open then. And so we went over there and we started looking around at the pup wars. I saw a beautiful like white husky, one gold eye, one blue eye. Her name was Titania.
Oh,
she was so good. She was so sweet. Wrong dog for me. Very much wrong dog for me. Very, very hyper. Very, very inquisitive.
Ooh, what's this?
Very, very high energy. Not something that I could handle right now. So we kept looking for other dogs, and whenever we walked through the solo pens, the dogs that like didn't bond to any other dogs in the kennel.
Yeah.
The more antisocial dogs.
Right.
we started walking in, and all of them started barking and everything. It was like crazy.
It's a little hectic.
We walked by hers. She was silent.
Oh.
She was silent. We walked up to her. She was just wagging. She was cautious. Like she's a little shy. But
yes.
all the other dogs were like screaming and everything, and she was just like, whatever. I'm like, yes, queen, we stand.
We have decided to stand.
So we spent an hour just like vibing with her, talking to other people about her, and yeah, we took her. We went to Petco and got a whole bunch of stuff for her, and yeah, she's been really good. She's a little bit afraid of the stairs, and I live kind of high up, so on the past couple of walks I had to carry her up. It's precious, and I love her so much.
In every picture and every video correspondence I've seen with her, which I saw her on your stream this evening, and now she's like here on your couch being extremely docile. Like she just seems so chill, so peaceful. Oh, she's doing some licks right now.
Oh,
so
she's doing a stretch.
And as just as an aside, because I don't think I've ever told the story before of how I adopted Vax, not on this podcast anyway.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. TSB and I, well, me mostly, was gunning to adopt a cat, and while I was working the summer before I started grad school, I was like, okay, this is a good time for me to get a cat while I still have money. And I'm not super picky, but TSB was like, well, whenever I was growing up, I had a male black cat, so I would like one of those. And we both kind of wanted a chill, older cat, because those tend not to be adopted as much. And we were looking around, and we found a 4-year-old black cat who was very quiet, very shy. So we went to that PetSmart, and he was kind of like hiding in the back of his cage, and the ladies working at the PetSmart were like, yeah, he doesn't really like to interact with people that much. However, this toy is his favorite toy, so if you want to use this and see if he'll come out, you can try, but don't get your hopes up, was basically the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I got the toy, and I used my my very gentle way that I have with cats. Not bragging or anything, but I am a slight cat whisperer. And wouldn't you know it, he decided to come out and explore and kind of like look around. He's very cautious. And yeah, no, we decided to. Are you chewing on something? I swear to God. Okay, no, we're good. He decided to come out and like play a little bit, and yeah, we decided to take him home. And we didn't know what to name him at first, but we decided, well, he's covered in black fur, and he likes to hide, and he has sharp dagger-like claws, so let's name him Vax after our favorite rogue. And yeah, he went from being super shy and quiet to a very loud, screaming goblin.
So you went from one rogue that we love to another.
Yeah, basically went from Vax to Nut. But like, as much shit as I give him, he's super affectionate. Mm-hmm. And like loves to sit on your lap and loves to cuddle and just loves purring and getting those chin scratches. So this is to say, as an aside, please take a chance on the quiet pets at the shelter.
Oh yeah,
the pets who maybe don't interact as much, because really they probably have great personalities. They're just shy and nervous being in the shelter environment. So give them a chance is all I have to say.
Yeah. So that's our pet spiel for this, our pet segment.
Also, Vax is here now, in case you guys didn't catch on. I wasn't yelling at TSB, I was yelling at my dad. But he is now in my life.
Replay that, but make sure that that's at TSB.
Are you chewing on something? I swear to God. Yeah, so this good boy is in my lap now, getting some chin scritches, living it up. Sweet Bab. Ow, please don't scratch me. So, I guess now that we've finished our pet spiel, you want to talk about some games?
Yeah, we should talk about some games.
Oh, ow! Ow, God damn it.
So, since we've last talked about it, we have both started at least one new game.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us about your stuff?
Oh, let's see. My stuff. I mean, do you want to start with Monster of the Week, or do you want to start with Storms and Stars? I can talk about either.
Let's start with Monster of the Week. Let's start with the things that people might have heard about before.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I think it's the last time we've met to talk about it. We had just finished the first episode of our Monster of the Week campaign called, Salem Academy Trials. So I play Lemuel Carter, otherwise known as Lemmy. Who is using the Flake playbook. So for those who aren't familiar, that is basically your conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
And Monster of the Week is kind of like X-Files, Buffy, Supernatural, Scooby-Doo, all kind of rolled in one. It's just those like kind of one-shot monster-solving mysteries. Yes, and the whole premise is that we are an academy of monster hunters for one reason or another. And our purpose is to be trained in how to solve these mysteries. And yeah, so my character isn't exactly the brawniest, however, he is the brainiest of the bunch, which he was able to prove in the second episode, whenever he was able to negotiate with a duppy, which, for those who aren't familiar, is basically a vengeful spirit that you'll see in cultures that practice voodoo. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was able to negotiate with a duppy, which was all well and good, and trap their soul in some sort of gem, and we completed the mission. However, Lemmy was tasked by a certain Professor Lovecraft, a certain Howard Lovecraft, Howard P. Lovecraft.
I'm not picking out what you're putting down.
To bring back this gem. However, in a scene that we kind of resolved off camera, because another character played by friend of the channel, R. Justice, named Ajax, who is our initiate, meaning they are part of some cult sect that hunts monsters. He was also tasked by their cult to bring back this gem. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of at like an impasse, and we basically came to the decision that Lemmy trusted them enough to keep this gem safe more than he trusted Professor Lovecraft, because he's kind of skeptical by nature, and he kind of got a bad vibe off of Lovecraft. So he left the gem with them. However, because of some of the actions of the other party members, letting normal people see them do sort of supernatural things, kind of caused them to be on the edge of failing the mission, and the fact that Lemmy did not bring the gym in was basically the tiebreaker for them failing the mission.
Aww.
Which is not good, because you're really only allowed one strike, and 2 strikes you're basically out. And depending on your character's reasons for being at the academy, can mean that bad things might happen to you. As we have found out with Lemmy, he was in a bit of trouble for poking his nose where he wasn't supposed to. So if he gets kicked out of the academy, he will probably be sent to jail.
Oof.
He hasn't really elaborated on the reasons, but, you know, basically he's not necessarily there by choice. And it could, I think for Sildra, who is like the werewolf in our party, Awu, that would probably mean bad things for him too. And I'm not sure about Ajax and Terra, what would happen to them, but so Lemmy doesn't particularly want to lose his next mission, especially because he got chewed out by Lovecraft after the last mission. But now they have a new mission. Lemmy has a new object to find, a goat horn. Right now we are hunting a Krampus.
Yes.
We're hunting a fucking Krampus who is abducting people from a high school.
Yes, Krampus.
Where we last left off, we are just about to confront the Krampus, but this episode was an incredibly interesting one because as a side effect of Lemmy giving the gem over to Ajax promised to help Lemmy in all of his research endeavors. Because for those who don't know, Lemmy is convinced that he was kidnapped by aliens. And so as a side effect of that, he spends all of his time researching into aliens mostly. However, he does do some small-time research into other supernatural, folklore, spooky shit. And so prior to this mission, because we got a level up, yay. Yes. Lemmy got what is known as a haven, which is usually confined to the expert class playbook and Monster of the Week, but Flakes can kind of pick up that option if they so choose. And havens are neat because you can assign a number of rooms, each have a different function. And I decided that Lemmy's haven was going to be in the basement of his mother's house.
Ooh.
So Ajax and Lemmy went on a road trip to Lemmy's mom's house this episode. Which was very interesting because Lemmy's mom is a sweet lady, kind of lonely because she lives alone. I don't know if this has come up in the episode, but I think it was kind of obvious with the way things played out. Lemmy's father is no longer in the picture. Lemmy's father passed away. And Lemmy's sister has moved out of the house as well. So Lemmy's mom lives alone. But she's super sweet. She is like Amy Poehler's mom character from Mean Girls. Just like very sweet, but a little overbearing. Like in the, you guys need anything? Some snacks, condoms. I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom. Yes. It's interesting because the way I was raised was not like that at all.
Same.
So I wonder what it would be like if I was that kind of parent. Anyways.
I couldn't be a parent.
You're a father now.
I am a father.
Bad child.
I'm a father to a sweet lady.
A sweet lady. But yeah, no. So Lemmy is the type of person who does not bring people home often. He spent several years of his life confined to the house and did not get out much. So I think she was very excited. Also, Lemmy had to lie a bunch because when you're at Salem Academy, no one knows you're a monster hunter. They think you're at a regular college.
Mm-hmm.
He told her a bunch of lies about, oh, Ajax is my roommate. The reason why he has on a mask is because we're in theater together. We just got out of theater practice, which the lore is that he is playing a statue in Macbeth and he is a method actor.
I love this.
Beautiful improv on both of our parts, but especially RJ. But yeah, so we go downstairs to the basement, which was Lemmy's bedroom, to do some research into the monster. And part of the way through, before we started, our wonderful DM was like, Ajax, you notice that there's like a piece of paper under the door. So he goes to check it out. And it's a pamphlet on safe sex.
Oh my God.
With a condom.
Oh my God. I love it.
Which freaked the hell out of Lemmy, but Ajax has kept the condom and sent a picture of him holding the safe sex pamphlet to the group chat that everyone has.
So this is an audio-only podcast, but I'm sitting here mouth agape. Like, oh my God.
Monster of the Week is a good game. But that's not all, Connor. That's not all.
Did it get spicy?
Connor, it gets worse.
Oh no.
So, once we get done researching the monster we're supposed to be hunting, which we find out is a Krampus, naturally so, because this mystery is taking place near Christmas time.
Yeah.
Lemmy's like, oh, hey, my mom probably wants us to stay for dinner. Let's go check. And she's like, yeah, I invited some company over. And she's just like, okay, Lemmy, don't freak out. I know you don't like change, but, I just want you to know that I've been seeing someone lately, and I would like you to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Oh, no.
PR goes, so you see someone walk through the door.
Oh, no.
And it's someone you both recognize.
Oh, no.
And it's Professor Lovecraft.
God damn it.
Connor, I threw off my headphones. I was so mad. I just threw off my headphones and sat there just like, you really did this to me? You made my professor, who doesn't like me, my potential stepdad.
Oh my gosh. That is beautiful, and that's 100% a thing that PR would do. Exactly.
He did this to hurt me. He said, and I quote, well, you didn't give me a dad to work with. So. Dad? But, yeah, no. So, normally, Professor Lovecraft at Salem Academy looks like a purple-eyed, potentially Elder Tord type thing. But no, he looked like a regular human person. And apparently...
And how did you recognize him?
He looked similar enough. Like, the only thing that was different was his eyes were, like, green, and he didn't have any, like, tentacles. But he looked similar enough. And he had, like, the same name. Well, I think he introduced himself as Howard Kraft, not Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he just bumped into Lemmy's mom at the grocery store. And
I don't believe that for a goddamn second.
but no, the thing is, one of the moves in the Flakes handbook is, if you decide to take it, that your character always knows whenever someone is lying to them. And so I checked in with PR. I'm like, is is Professor Lovecraft's like affection towards my mom real, or is this like he's like trying to fake it and just like use this to get at me? But no, he wasn't lying. He actually has feelings for my mom.
Oh no.
Which is worse. So not only do I have to pass this mission because my fate depends on it, but also, if I don't pass, what if something happens to my mom? But if I do, there's a lot going on in Lemmy's brain right now. He does not like this.
You better pull your grades up.
I gotta do good for my stepdad. But you know what's funny?
All of this?
Yes, all of this, but just a little icing on the cake. We went undercover at this school as FBI agents with fake identities.
Mm-hmm.
And Lemmy's was Howard Stepson. You know, like stepson. Because his brain is very occupied right now. Oh my God. But no, that whole episode was just great. And I'm excited to see how everything wraps up next episode. But oh my God, you know, you give PR the knives and he will stab you with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That seems like a good transition to the game that I started on PR's channel.
Do you want to talk about it after a short bathroom break?
We will most certainly do that.
Okay.
After we figure out what's going to be the transition.
Can you do a gourmet race from Kirby?
Absolutely.
And I don't know what you want to use for the image, but you know, maybe something cute.
Bongo cat. I will not be able to sync this quite yet, and that's going to take way too much work to actually do that.
That's okay.
So
it's
just going to be a static bongo cat, maybe like processed a little too much, like over sharpened, oversaturated.
This is good.
Highly processed, but
give us a crispy fried meme.
And then gourmet rates playing at like 2 times speed.
Excellent.
Let's
go. This is
go.
what the people want.
Let's go. And we're back.
Welcome back.
So yeah, you have talked a lot about your ongoing game in Pro Restar's channel. Should we continue with the new games or I'm sorry, with the old games or games that we've been a part of for a while? Or do we want to talk about other games on Pro Restar's channel?
Well, do you want to get all of our stream games out of the way and then we can move to home games, or how you want to? Because we have a lot on our TTRPG plates.
We do, which is good. It's good getting a lot of wonderful TTRPG action. Yeah, I'm like, I've got Indoor Adventures stream game going on. I've got a new game on Pro Restar's channel. I guess I'll talk about the one that I had going on already, and then we can get into the new stuff later.
Yeah.
So on the Indoor Adventures channel, we just leveled up. We started a new arc.
What level are you guys on now? 5, 6?
5.
Ooh, big 5, baby.
Big 5. Blake, the Dragonborn. He's draconian.
That voice, I get so concerned for Connor's voice whenever he does that voice. I remember whenever you first started that campaign, I'm like, make sure your vocal folds are hydrated. That fry is gonna kill you.
Yeah, it actually really doesn't pick up on the mic that I'm frying my voice that much. So
yeah, it sounds like you've gotten a little less fry-y, but if you are doing that vocal fry, please drink water.
Oh, I'm drinking something. But Blake is level 5 now, and they've been sailing for a while. We're eventually going to land on an island that is run by a bronze dragon.
Are those the fun ones? Or is that copper?
They're fun. They're the coastal dragons who deal with like ships and stuff. I guess that's considered fun.
Well, I remember there's one of the metallic dragonborns that are like the happy-go-lucky, fun, trickster kind. I want to say it's copper.
I think that's more copper.
Yeah.
But I think this is like the last dragon ever.
OT.
And Blake's patron, who is also the thing he was cloned from, because that's a thing.
Dad?
Yeah, they have had dealings in the past, and I'm pretty sure this Dragonborn that's walking around with his face is gonna gather some attention, and it's gonna go badly, really badly.
Oh, T.
But even before that, we've got some like eldritch horror, the Dark Star, that's like gonna destroy the world and everything. And I've also got a voice from the past appearing in my dreams, the witch Makoth, who got me in touch with that dragon spirit. She's very talkative with Blake now, which is good and also bad.
She can smell you.
She can. She's revealed to him that, hey, there's a dragon cult. I hear a song going around about you. You're going to get a lot of attention from them too.
Wig.
So it's just like things are not shaping up well for Blake. Apparently, he's gathered a lot of attention from a lot of people. It's not going to go in. It's not going to end well.
Big whoops.
So yeah, we will see how that resolves on Monday. Because I think we're about like to land on the island.
Woohoo!
But I've been saying that for like the past 3 weeks. This is recorded, and this is recorded before that episode airs. This won't be edited until after that. So
yes.
So Connor, put a TLDR right now. Good. Awesome.
Why am I pointing to it? This isn't a video. This is an audio cast. Thank God it's not a video. I thank God every day we don't do a video.
That's for the Patreon that I'm never making.
Let's talk about it.
Let's not.
Money, let's talk about it.
But you've also started a new game on Off the Table.
Oh yeah. My new game is the reason why I didn't catch your last episode of it's for keeps.
For keeps.
Because every other Monday I will be on Off the Table. Twitch.tv _the table.
Yeah.
So much like I am playing a Monster of the Week game over on Twitch.tv Pro Restarters channel, which is powered by the Apocalypse system game. I am playing in a campaign known as Storms and Stars, which is Alas for the Awful Sea, which coincidentally enough is also powered by the Apocalypse system.
Lots of apocalyptic stuff going on.
Oh, I hope not any apocalypses. Which I think with these DMs, I know there will be like apocalyptic levels of emotional pain.
I'm furiously nodding my head.
From what I have personally experienced with PR and from what I've somewhat gathered from Summer's DM style, I know I'm in for a world of pain with both. So I am one of the lucky members on this campaign, being DM'd by Summer, just a summer job, great DM, and then some other big names in our little TTRPG community. Katie Faze, Katie, Where's My Dingus Dingo, and I always pronounce his name wrong. You're going to have to fix me. Anarsis? Did I get it right? Anarsis? Anarsis, otherwise known as Dylan.
Wait,
so,
one point. Apparently, it's Katie Face.
Katie Face.
Katie Face.
Yes. Oh, I saw that on Twitter recently, and I was like,
yeah, I'm just like, I am a fool.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Katie Face, yes.
Katie Face.
Which I am excited and intimidated to play with all of them, which I have played with Dingo a lot, and Katie some. I haven't played with Dylan, but it's just intimidating because whenever you were starting out, you were playing with like Summer and Dylan and
yeah. Whenever I started out, I'd done a few fun shots on a Narcissus channel.
mm-hmm.
So, a Narcissus and Off the Table, they run in the same circles. So I've been able to play with all of these people, and they're all so wonderful.
But yeah, no, I was not expecting at all to get into that campaign when I signed up for it, but I did. And I'm very excited. And we had our session 0 last Monday, which was all world building. So the lore registered trademark of it is Alas for the Awful Sea is the setting is just in the like 1800s, anywhere that is like naval, coastal, wherever, because the majority of it takes place on the sea, on a ship, and every playbook that you can choose from is a role on the ship. And in addition to the playbook that you choose that has your stats, your moves and most of your bonds, you also get like another role. I think it's called a descriptor, but I can't remember. That also gives you like an additional bond and like 2 or 3 other moves you can do. And so it gives a little more interesting depth to the characters.
Yeah.
So for this campaign, I decided to, in a sense, recycle a character that I have played before, which I have hinted at in the last Let's Talk About It, which Connor was not able to figure out.
Well, Drunk Connor wasn't. Sober Connor did whenever he was editing.
Yes, Drunk Connor was not able to figure it out, but yes, whenever Sober Connor was editing, I get a text message that says, "Are you playing Dagny?" with several question marks. To which I say now, yes, I am. I am playing Dagny Johansson, who is a more modernized version of one Dagny Hjorndottir that I played in a short-lived D&D campaign that was Nordically inspired. She was a storm sorcerer, extremely drunk, chaotic lesbian. Beauregard before CR2 had ever come out. Marisha Ray, stop stealing my character. But yeah, no, that was her whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that campaign kind of cut off before we could see a nice good end to it. So whenever I had this land on my plate, the Dagny that I played in that campaign was a storm sorcerer with a sailor background. So I was like, I like this character concept. Let me take this and take off all the magical high fantasy parts and make it like a little more modernized.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did.
Yeah.
So I am playing the ship's Strider, who is essentially the navigator / the person who is very familiar with like the natural world and does all of like the hunting and all of the other survival stuff. So that is my playbook. But my descriptor is that I am the lover. Which has some interesting benefits.
Does it?
Which means one of my bonds, which I have not taken yet, is that someone is my true love. And then I have some moves that kind of work off that, like one that deals with protecting the one I love, and another one that's like I do like an insight check essentially on the love, but we haven't gotten to that yet. But yeah, no. So I kept pretty much the general core personality the same. She is still very brash and brazen, still very drunk all the time. Still pretty flirty with all of the ladies, which I don't know, because I played it a lot more subtly and the campaign that we did, but this time I was like, oh yeah, no, she flirts with all the ladies. But it's interesting because with Summer's DM style, she's like, I prefer kind of like an open book sort of deal where we all know our secrets in session 0, but our characters don't know each other's secrets in session 0. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll play ball with this. So to give you the juicy lore for our dear listeners and our dear Connor who hasn't seen it. Yes, so Dagny is from Norway originally, who came to these set of islands, which we created in session 0, that are off the coast of Oregon, because she is running away from a former flame of hers, named Astrid, the daughter of a merchant who is very beautiful, very kind, very much the person Dagny thought she was going to be with forever, but Astrid was set to marry the son of another merchant and would not leave that arrangement for Dagny. So Dagny sailed away on their wedding day and hasn't seen or heard from her in about 3 or 4 years. And so is still coping with that in the worst way possible. Alcohol, fights, and lots of hookups. Oh, for our listeners at home, Connor is doing the big frown. But we created some bonds with our lovely ship full of ladies. We're all playing powerful ladies.
Yes.
We have our captain, played by Dingo, who is Harper, who is the captain and the creature, meaning that she is not human, not entirely human. And her backstory is that she is a blue heron that was transformed into a human.
Oh, interesting.
And so her and Dagny's relationship is that as is written, Dagny is the only person who has seen the captain's quarters. Nothing has happened yet, but they have been, how do I say it, dancing around each other as of sorts. Kind of a will she, won't she type thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, my lizard brain went to, oh my gosh, is the captain quarters actually the crow's nest? Because she's
No, the bedroom, Connor.
Listen. I know that you're playing on Off the Table. I keep forgetting that you're playing on Off the Table, and I should expect more from this game.
Smooches?
It's smooches.
No, not yet, although I spoke on there that I will get smooches in this game. I've planted the seed and I will see the harvest. So
yes.
We'll see how successful I am. But no, Dagny has been inside Harper's bedroom. However, nothing happened. Apparently Dagny got too drunk one night and Harper just took her to her bedroom.
Aww.
And Dagny has been trying to interpret it ever since. Which I think Dagny and Harper both have commitment issues because apparently Harper was married and she has a husband and a daughter, but her husband took her daughter away, and it's juicy. But that's their relationship. Then there is let's see, there is Elizabeth, played by Narcissus Dillon, who is the ship's surgeon and confidant. So surgeon is the playbook, the healer of sorts, and the confidant is someone who acquires lots of secrets, and their moves are based on how they choose to spend those secrets, whether in good or bad ways. However, Elizabeth is good and sweet and not sinister, and is the ship mom.
Mm-hmm.
And her and Dagny's relationship is basically Dagny sees her a lot because Dagny gets drunk a lot, and Dagny gets into fights a lot.
Aww.
So Dagny always turns to her for guidance. However, Elizabeth thinks that Dagny is doomed. That Dagny is her self-destruction will lead to her downfall, essentially. But okay. I don't think she's given up hope on her, necessarily. She's just like, you're probably going down a dark path, which is not entirely wrong. And then the last person is Annabelle, who's played by Katie, who is the scholar as her playbook and the outcast. And the reason why she is an outcast, which was discussed on session 0, so this isn't spoilers, is because she was I forget the name of it, but she was basically like the tutor and the nanny of like these family's children, and she had an affair with the husband of the family.
Yeah.
And ended up getting pregnant.
Oh.
And now she has to like go back to her home because things didn't work out.
Yeah.
But now she's hiding from her with the fact that she's pregnant, so she's on our ship right now. And Dagny doesn't like her at all, really. Because Dagny's like, girl, you need to toughen up. You're weak. You know, you're book smart, which isn't really going to help you survive in this world. Because Dagny is very much a woman of experience, of learning by trade, of, she's not a book smart person. She doesn't see the value in that. And so is a little bit antagonistic towards Annabelle. And Annabelle is not necessarily antagonistic, but is just like, towards Dagny, just like, okay, yeah, you don't see the value in the scholarship, whatever. So, yeah, those are all those juicy relationships with my character. So, not, not this next Monday, but the Monday after, we will finally have playtime and see those relationships in action. But
Right. Yeah.
I'm excited to get back into Dagny's headspace because she was a fun character to play for the few sessions I got to play her. I won't have magical powers anymore, but that's fine. I still will be badass.
You have the magical power of smooching, which is the best magical power.
Yeah, I will channel the power of off the table smooching. I picked the background where I think that would give me the most smooches, but we'll see, And if all else fails, I will smooch the ocean. I will tongue kiss the ocean.
I'm afraid this is a euphemism for drowning. But
I wasn't going to take it there, but okay.
That's where my head's at.
Connor, do you want to talk about it?
I want to talk about my new game on Pro Restarter's channel.
Please do. Please do while you pet that beautiful puppy.
Well, coincidentally, so we're all playing kids. Like, not fully grown adults in this game. It's called The Little Things. It is DM'd by Little Red Dot. Wonderful GM. I've been able to see a few of her streams before this, and she's really great. Brings a lot of really great psychology into it, which is a very different take on it.
Psychology in what way?
So for this game in particular, she has worked with a lot of children and brings in a lot of child psychology.
Oh.
So she wants to 100% focus on the innocence of kids in this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And wants to definitely play off of our dreams and our fears more than anything.
Oh.
Well, the character that I'm playing for this is a character concept that I've had for a while. It is a shifter who is the son of lycanthropes.
Mm-hmm. Awoo.
But was abandoned by them.
Oh.
Probably because he came out as a shifter, which is like a half lycanthrope. So whenever we finally meet Koyar, that's
Koyar.
He is being raised by two halfling gentlemen.
Oh, two dads
who are they're living outside. They're kennel masters. They raise hounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 100% tying this into my own background.
Awoos.
Awoos.
Awoos for backstory.
So my backstory, or part of my backstory, is that my dad trains law enforcement dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raised around a lot of dogs, and I thought it would make a lot of sense for this character in particular to be raised around a lot of dogs, especially if he is going into a ranger sort of background.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably 100% want to take a Beastmaster. I just really like the Beastmaster Ranger, even though people hate it.
I identify with the Beastmaster Ranger.
As I sit here rubbing my animal companion.
Yes, truly. You have Connor has a way with dogs, y'all. And I swear to God, it's because of his background. Like, he's the alpha. But, like, not in a mean way, you know? He just has a good presence with dogs.
No.
We went to visit our friend, and she has a dog. And he had a way with the dog. They're very much like that, you know, like, hey, I'm in charge. But, like, not in a mean way. But, like, in the way that dogs like, you know?
Yeah, but I also can only do that with certain dogs. Like I said earlier with Titania, not ready to, like, take control of a very excitable husky or anything like that.
That's fair.
But yeah, apparently, so number one, Kodiar does not know he's a shifter. He knows that he can take on, he can go a little more feral, and he knows that he grows up a lot faster than halflings do. That's it.
What kind is he, like what kind of shifter? Because there's different kinds of shifters, right?
He's wild hunt, so he can track people easier. He goes into that wisdom.
So does that take the form of a wolf or?
So it's definitely going into the wolf because he's his biological parents were werewolves. And we may be seeing that particular bestial aspect start showing up in future sessions. Unfortunately, we've only had our first session because our game this week was canceled. But yeah, there should be some juicy stuff going on with Koyar.
Hang on. You have 2 dads on Pro Restarters channel?
Technically, I have 3.
You have 3 dads on Pro Restarters channel?
Yes, but Pro Restarter is not DMing this, so he cannot kill them.
Your dads are safe? Question mark.
I have no idea if they're safe. I hope so, because this is a child.
Please, little red dot, do not traumatize this child.
She's 100% going to traumatize the child. No, the entire, like, premise of the campaign is, like, they need to stay innocent in order to keep this fallen star alive.
Oh.
That they're carrying. I think we haven't met one player character yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like once we do, we can get into the campaign in earnest.
Understandable.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm traveling with Nomadic, who is a wonderful dude. I'm really glad that I finally get to play in a game with. Pro Restarter PB, friend of the channel PB, plays inside. Scarlet Moth has not been able to show up yet, but be playing with her as well. Heard really cool things about her, followed her on Twitter for a while. But yeah, super cool. I think that's, yeah, PB, PR, and Gnome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4-person game.
5-person game, but Scarlet Moth hasn't shown up yet, and Little Red Dot is DMing.
Oh, okay. I meant 4-person game, like player game. But yeah, with DM, it's 5.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to have to catch up on the VOD. It's, it's just difficult. Because we're not in the same game anymore, which, it is good because, we're branching out.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm not always in the know on what you're up to.
Yeah, it's tough.
But, you know,
but we're also doing some non-stream games.
Non-stream games. Do you want to talk about Dragon Heist first?
I do.
So, do you remember last episode of Latai, whenever I was asking you if it was possible for Otto, our mustachioed human rogue, played by friend of the channel, Arsqueef, if it was possible for him to get with a certain Rakshasa character in the game, and you were like, yes. Did you keep that part in the podcast, by the way?
I might have to do this again. I cut it out because the fact that fuck shit tittycock is a Rakshasa is major Dragon Heist spoiler.
Oh, well, I guess you could, like, beep out his name with, like, some tiger roars or something.
We only censor with fuck shit tittycock here.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So, yeah, so spoilers, you know, keeping the spoilers at bay, which is understandable. So I'll try and keep it as vague as possible. But, so I asked if it was possible for him to romantically woo this character who is a Rakshasa, and you said yes.
Yep.
And by God, that mad lad went and done it. He went up to this business establishment where this Rakshasa was working. After we had accomplished a mission of sorts, and let that person in the know, and was like, you know, hey, you know, if there's anything you need to tell me, you might want to tell me now. Also got that character to reveal that they were a Rakshasa. And, you know, I'll just say that they had a fade to black scene, which has been wildly misinterpreted by everyone else.
Gigantic air quotes, misinterpreted.
Okay, well, wildly interpreted, I suppose, by everyone else.
That's the beauty of fade to black moments.
Yes. So I went and posted on Twitter, because I always like to do as spoiler-free as possible, funny little blips from our sessions.
Yeah.
And I said something like, you know, I was like, at Arsqueef totally, you know, banged a Rakshasa. And what did you know? The fucking tweet blew up. Blew up like the 4th of July. You know, because, you know, anytime I at Arsqueef and he retweets it, his, like, 12K followers, I'll have some shit to say.
They are very vocal followers.
Truly. But it was very funny because not too long afterwards,
oh God, I'm gonna have to find this tweet, aren't I?
Yes. Not too long afterwards, there was a picture going around from Gordon Ramsay's official Twitter account of, like, him, but his shadow was like a cat person. And Barisha Ray quote tweeted it and was like, is Gordon Ramsay a Rakshasa, basically? And according to Arsqueef's count, there were 3 different people who at him and was like, oh, this sounds like Arsqueef's territory. So basically, my impact, I have outed Arsqueef as a Rakshasa fucker.
So, like, okay, number one, 100%, I did make this particular NPC wink at Otto. I did not intend it to be romantic, but I'm not mad about it.
Oh, we very much, I think it was Soleil, me, and maybe Glide, who played by Ginger Benji, who interpreted it very much in a romantic way, and basically was like, oh my god, he winked at you. Also, why is Krebney with your man, Otto? What's going on here? Because Otto was always the point person whenever we needed to talk to this NPC. So Otto would always go and talk to him, and he made it very clear from the beginning that he wanted to be friends with this NPC. So really, the stars aligned, I would say.
Yeah.
And no, while it is very funny, like out of character, it's really kind of sweet in character, I would say. So, but no, our last session, there was a big reveal where this person revealed their Rakshasa identity to us, and it all kind of took us aback. And my character, who for like the second time ever and for the longest extended time was in springtime Eldrin form, which is the very happy-go-lucky, romantically minded Eldrin, was like looking over at Otto and was like, Otto isn't surprised by this. Which she hasn't fully gotten to talk out yet. So come tomorrow, she will have words for Otto.
Oh no.
But no, yeah. It was very advantageous for us because Otto happened to romance the one NPC that could give us some insight into the BBEG's plan. So good for us.
So yeah, y'all have a lot of information that y'all can do stuff with.
Yeah. Strategic boning, Otto.
Stars aligned. Indeed. That's not the only game that we're playing in, though.
No.
We started a game yesterday.
We did. So the magic, no, not 4, I guess 5. The same group that we have assembled for Dragon Heist has reconfigured a little bit to where, while it's the same makeup, you're getting some respite from the DM role, and TSB is stepping up to DM a game on occasional Fridays that is coming from a brainchild homebrew setting that he has had cooking for 6 months or so. A setting of his own creation where all the gods are basically dead or
I think
not,
they're like sealed away.
Yeah, dead, sealed away, not able to access the prime material plane. Mm-hmm. So more of the minor gods or second in commands or stepping in place, and there are more instances of, I think, kind of gods on the mortal plane, kind of like hidden in plain sight, I think. And this is also a world where there are no heroes yet. And basically how I described it, well, there are characters who have aspects of the classes. They don't have all the aspects of the classes. So, in a sense, how I described it is there may be bards who can cast magic, but their music isn't inspiring. Or there are bards whose music is inspiring, but they can't do magic. Mm-hmm. However, my bard is able to do both. So it sets them apart from the other bards and minstrels of the realm.
Yeah. You did make a bard for this.
I did. I channeled my roots for this campaign because for the longest time, I've been a bit disappointed that our first homebrew campaign, which did take place with TSB, my first original D&D character, who was a gnome bard, I made her, and I was very excited to play her. We played a few sessions, and we just started to, we got to the tip of the iceberg of my backstory, and then things kind of fell through.
Yeah.
And it has been several years since then, and he was like, hey, TSB, being the he, I think that your character would fit well in the setting because she is not an archetypical bard. I think this would give you and her a chance to kind of, for you to play that character and for her to fulfill this role as a weird hero. So, for the first time since 2016, I am playing Eliwick Pluckstring, your air quotes rock gnome bard, who is not actually a rock gnome because even as a very new D&D player, I was very excited for one to make my own character and very ambitious because first of all, I'm sure I've told this story before on stream, but to freshen everyone's minds up, my first D&D character for one shot I played with an ex-boyfriend was a gnome bard who only knew the song Piano Man by Billy Joel. Who played it in every occasion. Which is for different tempos, depending on what was needed.
Piano Man.
Shut down the song, Piano Man. But no. Yeah, so whenever we made this campaign back in 2016, I think, I was like, okay, I'm going to flesh this character out. They're going to be a gnome bard. So as I was doing research into gnomes and D&D, I came across a particular type of gnome that I wanted to play, a chaos gnome, which was 3.5 version of a gnome. Mm-hmm. And they're different as in they have wild colored hair and mood changing eyes and mood changing eyes, not moon changing eyes, excuse me. And they're very they are creatures of entropy, I'd say. Very much prone to the whims of fate and chaotic creatures, I would say. So I, even back then, I was like, hey, TSB, can you make this work? Because this is what I want. And he was like, okay, we can work with this. So we kind of updated it to 5e standards, which they have kind of some features of a gnome, but the one feature they have that we homebrewed in is Luck of Chaos, which basically works like the lucky feat, only you have to take whatever the second roll is, good or bad.
Okay. Is that not how some of the halfling stuff works?
I think so. I think do you have to take this whatever the second roll is with the halfling?
Sober Connor put it up, but I think there is a racial trait.
I think I know what you're talking about. The halflings do have that, but I think they can only roll it whenever they have a natural one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I might be thinking of the wild magic sorcery thing.
Maybe? But, with the halflings, they can only re-roll whenever they have a natural one. And they have to take it, even if the other roll is also a natural one.
Well, yeah.
But with Luck of Chaos, you can roll it whenever, but you have to take the second roll.
Yeah.
Which the way I've built this character, because we did a fun character creation thing for this campaign where we basically we rolled a stat array together, and TSB said if you guys all take a stat below 10, I will give you all a free feat. So I picked up the lucky feat. So I have 3 luck rolls and then a Luck of Chaos roll. So I have like 4. Well, 3.5 luck rolls. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm very happy to be back on my roots because, as faithful listeners of this podcast know, I love gnomes and I love bards. And for those who are not familiar with Ellie, because I think I've only talked about her minimally on this podcast, for a good comparison, think of Jester, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah.
Who I also created long before CR2 started, so I swear to God I'm not ripping off character concepts, but very much happy-go-lucky. Definitely the only difference is similar personality, but wisdom is the dump stat, for sure. It's just a very mischievous bard who wants to become a rock star. Not everyone is receptive to her type of music, which is rock music. I've canonically invented so many songs for our universe.
And nobody can tell you otherwise.
No one can tell me otherwise. But yeah, no. I was very excited. It was like stretching a muscle that I haven't stretched in a long time.
Yeah. So I also brought back my first D&D OC for this game, Skjor. He is, well, whenever we first made him, we started at 5th level, so he was a human blood hunter, Order of the Lycan, who had a magical talking sword that sort of reined him back a little bit because he was definitely a reckless, headstrong dude.
Back off, I'll take you on!
Like, is it coming? Is it coming? Of course it is. This time we're starting at level 1, so not taken his order yet. But I've been like mentioning that, oh, he has a certain wound that he is checking out regularly. So we'll see how that goes. But this is the first melee build blood hunter that I've done in a while. Because like the first time I did Skjor, I did not realize like how the stats worked. I put a lot into dexterity and wisdom. Whenever he was Order of the Lycan, it's probably meant to be a strength-based build. Yeah, I wasn't the most effective with Skjor, and I also did not have a lot in its constitution.
Yeah.
So he went down a lot in combat.
Glass cannon.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. A glass cannon that only cracks himself. But this time around, because TSB did give us all a feat to start out with, and because I was using a human, a variant human, I started off with I think it was just +1 to con. But he has both the durable and tough feats. Oh no, he has to have +4 to Constitution. Never mind.
Oh.
So he's a beefy boy. I think he's at level 2 and he's got like 31 hit points.
Yeah, you and our barbarian Don, who is being played by Ginger Benji, friend of the channel, Ginger Benji. Both had like fucking 16 hit points at level 1 because y'all were both Vumans that have went hard and heavy on Constitution.
Yeah.
So I think you guys both have like 30 hit points now. So thank goodness, because I had like 9 hit points.
Skewer will not go down this time.
I would like to say I am personally so excited because TSB was like, yeah, Connor's kind of waffling, but he talked about wanting to be Skewer, but I don't know if he'll do it. And I'm like, please, give me the Skewer and Ellie times.
Yeah, so we're doing Skewer and Ellie times again, which is good because I really liked our Skewer and Ellie times. But unfortunately, this is a very different Skewer.
Yeah, we lost all of our character development, so we're rebuilding from the ground up. But you know, I'm sure Skewer and Ellie times will one day be upon us.
Yeah.
I'm also very excited for our Squeak's character, who is essentially Legolas.
The character that was specifically designed to annoy me.
The character was specifically designed to annoy you by hating werewolves. The Elven Ranger who hates werewolves, which I don't know if he knows yet everything about Skewer, to keep that as vague as possible. Because if he didn't know, the cinematic parallels are beautiful.
I haven't revealed anything about Skewer.
Okay.
So.
Good.
But it might not be as they might not be as much of a foil as he expects.
Oh. Tea.
So like 2 weeks before the start of this campaign, Skewer was infected by a werewolf that he killed.
Oh.
He's definitely a monster hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm.
Yeah. There's stuff there.
Ooh.
We'll see more about that. But I gotta take a pee break. But
and I need to refill my drink.
I need to do that too. But we will be back to talk about stuff other than our D&D games and our OCs.
We've covered all of that stuff. We're good
I
now.
might need to like split the podcast episodes into like us talking about our OCs and also our other topic.
Yeah, I think that's what we've been kind of doing naturally the past few episodes. So maybe this needs to become like our format.
Sober Connor, get on it.
Sober Connor, do something.
And now play Meta Knight's Revenge.
With a graphic
of a doge. Cool.
Excellent.
Okay. So now that we've mentioned our OCs and our stuff, you had actually asked me earlier in the week what I wanted to talk about.
As I normally do, because I usually leave topic selection up to you.
And I'll actually just read the response back.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I kind of also want to talk about like consuming content. I'm at this point where I feel like if I'm not doing so and not constantly being exposed to experiences and opinions of other people, I'm wasting my own time and stagnating as a human, ? I've been wanting to explore that kind of introspection for a while. But then it's like Logic, who did the Between the Sheets episode not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you afraid of silence and being left with your own thoughts? That being a question I'm posing to myself. I follow a lot of creators, and I'm trying to take in as much of their stuff as I can. Most notably, I try to stay up to date with Game Grumps, because in a few of their episodes, specifically I'm thinking of like Mario Odyssey, where they talk about like depression and overworking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of those hit pretty deep and get really deep. And I'm at this point where I want to try to get as much of those opinions and everything as I can. I want to experience all of that through other people.
Yeah.
But why?
Hmm.
And I think it's because I've been staying busy. That's not a recent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since actually I know exactly when it started. During my senior year of high school and everything, I was involved in a lot and I was doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, I was doing summer jobs. And ever since all throughout college, I've been involved in a lot, doing internships, and trying other things. I haven't really taken a break. And at this point, I don't know how to.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
In every time that I do have a few minutes to myself, and this is one of the points where I empathize a lot with a perspective that Aaron of the Game Grumps has presented. At that, whenever I actually do have a moment of free time, I'm so stressed about finding a way to enjoy it that at that point it's not really enjoyable anymore. It's just something that causes me stress.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I can't do that is putting me in a position where I'm how do I function like a normal human being? How do I live a life?
Yeah.
So I've been in a weird mental state for a while, and I don't know how to deal with it.
And it's related to, if I'm understanding correctly, is it related to staying on top of consumable content, or just the idea of being along with your thoughts, or both?
I don't know.
So
at one point in my life, I would really like to play open world games. Whenever Skyrim came out was the last time that I've truly remember me just having a bunch of time and putting it into something I enjoyed, which was exploring Skyrim. If that makes sense. I can't do that anymore. Just doing that. If I am doing something like that, if I'm playing Skyrim or Breath of the Wild, whenever I'm not doing it for the stream, or notably I did it with Metroid 2 or Samus Returns, whenever that came out. If I don't have a podcast or a Twitch stream or an audiobook, whenever I was playing Metroid 2, I was listening to the Game of Thrones audiobook. If I'm not doing something while I'm just sitting down and playing a game, I feel like I'm wasting my time. If I'm not constantly consuming content and getting these perspectives, I'm not using my time to the best of its ability.
Interesting. So you feel like you always have to be consuming something?
I always have to be doing something.
Oh. Always doing something. Always more than one thing at once, or?
Doing as many things as I can.
Oh yeah, you sound like TSB. He always has to be doing 2 or 3 different things at once. But you can't exactly explain why.
Nope.
It's interesting. I've had a shifting of, not necessarily opinions on this, but just general feelings on this. I've experienced similar situations. for those of you who may know, because I hint at it a lot of times. I try not to talk about it too often, but I struggle with feelings of anxiety. A lot of social anxiety, but also general anxiety towards myself. And the way that I would deal with it a lot of the times is consuming content. There were periods of my times in undergrad where I just had like no energy to do anything besides watch stuff. So I watched a lot of Game Grumps, and as those who may know, I got into Critical Role after my car was stolen because I was incredibly emotionally volatile and had nothing else to do. So I decided to take a suggestion from Connor to watch that. So I used content to distract myself from myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can drown the voice out in my head if I am always taking in voices and experiences from others. And for a while, that worked. However, I've run across a new problem semi-lately. And that is the problem of almost watching too much content or trying to get involved with too much content.
Okay.
Because since ingratiating myself in the TTRPG community, everyone is always doing something. More than one something a lot of the times, you know? Everyone is always trying to promote their content, and the channels I already follow are already doing their content. And so now it's almost like something that was once a stress relieving source for me is almost stress inducing, because I am at the point where I can no longer keep up with what everyone is doing. And so the minute I start to fall behind is the minute I get incredibly stressed. So it's very hard for me to catch up on things because of that little anxiety-inducing goblin voice in my brain that tells me that even one episode behind, or whatever metric that the content is measured by, is too much for me to handle. And then it gets to 2 episodes, 3 episodes, however many episodes.
Yeah.
And then it gets, more and more daunting. But then there's the guilt of, oh, but I'm a fan of this. Why haven't I watched this? Like, it got to a point over Christmas break where I thought I was never going to catch up on Critical Role because I was 3 episodes behind, and that felt monumentally challenging. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't able to break that funk for weeks until I basically stared down with my goblin voice and was like, Kylen, you've been at a point where you were like 60 or more episodes behind a Critical Role and you were able to catch up. So what is stopping you now? You're 3 episodes behind, pussy. So I was able to overcome that in that instance, but now a lot of the times it's kind of stupid, but it's just like I get so anxious with the amount of content that is available to consume that I don't have the time to consume. And so now something that was once stress relieving is almost stress inducing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it 100%. Most recently, I can definitely say that I've fallen off a couple of streams.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, Open for Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, day one, trying to mod, trying to do everything. Unfortunately, they just moved their games to Monday nights because that worked best with the players. But unfortunately, that's also whenever I'm streaming on Indoor Adventures channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to keep up with it nearly as much. And especially since I'm so close to the creator, that makes me feel really guilty. But like, oh, excuse me. But like, that's definitely Little Goblin voice. Like, we both get it. And I am still very interested in what's going on. So we just, at work, we just talk about it.
Yeah.
I get the recap from her directly.
Mm-hmm.
And then like for other things, like I know pretty soon on Indoor Adventures channel we're going to start recording recaps. So yeah, that's definitely going to be useful for me particularly. If I'm trying to promote, I'm just like, hey, look, cool stuff is happening. Look at our recap.
Woo! What's this?
Yeah.
And this is again me, and this isn't even the goblin voice. This is almost like the hobgoblin voice. Ooh. So a little step up. That is like, you can't watch the recap. Like, how dare you? That's so lazy. Why aren't you watching all the content? Like, what's wrong with you? You're not a true friend. You're not a true friend. You're not supporting these people. So even whenever people release those types of things, my brain is like, you can't even watch that. You should watch the real thing. Why don't I have time to watch the real thing? You awful, horrible person. So, yes. A lot going on in the brain space. However, I'm trying to tell myself to shut up and come to terms with the fact that I don't have the time to consume all the content. And that's okay. I can take the shortcuts and still be okay and still support my friends. So it's a difficult battle. But I think I'm coming out on the winning side, maybe.
Yeah. No one's ever going to be able to consume all the content in the world. We literally post more content on YouTube than anybody could ever consume. And Twitch has always got people live streaming. So many. Like, literally, during this episode, I uploaded 7 hours of content to YouTube.
But we're in an age of where everyone, now that we have a platform that is accessible for everyone to share their content, everyone wants to, which is fantastic. But it's just like, I only have 86 400 seconds in a day. Turn it all around and throw it all away. God damn it. Chris Allen, don't sue me.
Is he making music? You don't really hear from him.
Most American Idol people don't really make that much music anymore. But oh my god, this is off topic, but I know someone who like went pretty far on American Idol and he's making music right now.
You do?
I do, yeah. He was on the latest season. I won't say too much because you'll find out. If I said his name, you would find out where he lived, and then you find out where I live, and
we're not doing that.
I like to.
I think I've said where I live enough times, but yeah, let's keep some things safe.
As a child who was born and somewhat raised in the 90s, I was aware of internet stranger danger. So I like to create some barrier to those personal details. But yes, that is a little bit of lore about me. I personally know someone who went very far on the most recent season of American Idol. And if you find out and personally ask me about it in a private way, then I might let you know. But other than that, I'm not gonna let you know in a public space. But how did we get here? Oh yeah. So yeah, we only have like 86,400 seconds a day. And a lot of it is consumed by work. Or in my case, work, school, and other work. So I only have so many other seconds to basic human functions and homework, and then I can also fit in free time. And I love to spend my free time watching other people's content, but then at the same time I also need to spend that time doing other things that make me happy, like playing games with my friends. Or today I went and spent time hanging out with people in real life, which I don't do that often anymore. So, but it was nice. It was fun. And, I wasn't able to catch as much as your stream tonight, but it was, I think, something that was well needed.
Yeah.
Just some time to not be like, oh, I gotta watch my 5 streams tonight of people I'm invested in. So just unplugging a little bit is nice, but just detaching yourself from like, I gotta do this to be a good friend type thing,
Yeah, no, I 100% get it. Let me first off just take a moment to say, if you have made it this far in the episode, thank you so much for stopping by and listening to us ramble on for this long. You're glad that our content is something that you have chosen to consume.
Oh, I'm sure people put this on in the background and they're just like, I'm not gonna listen to this.
I mean, that's fine too. I still get the non-existent ad revenue.
Delicious.
I do not get ad revenue.
No. Well, once we get our sponsorship deal with Fight Milk, we'll be rolling in the schmoony.
But yeah, that's something that I've tried to keep doing on my streams, just like whenever I do see people in chat, just like making sure to like, hey, welcome. Good to see you.
You are appreciated.
And whenever I end, I say and say bye, because I'm glad that people stay, and I want to make sure that they still feel special. Yeah. But that said, if my content isn't something that you want to consume, that's cool. There's lots of other great content out there. I'm glad you're taking time to support your creators.
Yeah. If you only have so much time, prioritize. It's fine, We can't always, watch all the things that we might want to watch. So find the things that are most important to you. And, if you have time to watch other things, you can. But also take time for yourself. That's not for the support of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care. Do what you need to do. Because, while it's fun to watch those things, sometimes it's almost a bit of an obligation, like the obligation of support,
Yeah. Now, the other side of my little crisis text, not sponsored, but plugging in organization crisis text line. Really good. They're doing really good stuff there. If you can, please donate. I'll add them to my next donation stream.
Yes.
Part of the reason that that I've said that I was consuming so much content is because I'm constantly trying to draw off of the experiences of other people
Mm-hmm.
so that I can figure out how to live my own life.
Mm.
But the thing is, because I'm taking so much time to like take in all these other people's opinions, I fail to form any of my own.
Mm. That's tough.
I'm definitely an empathetic person. Uh, I definitely try to make sure that I can understand where someone else is coming from, even if I don't 100% agree with them.
Mm-hmm. Good trait.
Can be, but unfortunately, that also means I can be very easily swayed.
Mood.
And I'm a little bit gullible. I fall for a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't. And I don't know if that's a virtue or a vice. Part of that is I just haven't experienced enough for myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things that I do are not, you know, going outside and talking to people. It's staying inside and listening to people.
I relate.
Literally today was the first time that I've like gone outside and done something.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a commitment that makes me stay inside.
Mm.
I am gesturing toward my doggo, who is asleep on my lap, like a very good girl.
She's so good.
She's so good.
But no, not to talk too much about my own experience, but yeah, no, I totally feel that since moving, I have probably hung out with people that I've met through my school about 4 or 5 times at most in the 1.5, almost 2 years since I've been here. The majority of the times I've hung out with people, which I could probably only count on 1, 2 hands, have been with people that TSB knows, because I don't get out much. And even sometimes when people ask me out, if I have commitments to play in something or watch something, I will make up some excuse for why I can't be out that night, which is detrimental to my IRL social life, because I do feel this obligation to hang out with internet friends and consume internet content.
You know what's going to be a really great way to get around all of this?
Oh, what's that?
Gen Con.
Gen Con!
Gen Con! Or next year I've got to try to go to PAX.
PAX South?
Uh-huh.
That's a good one. I say, although I've never been.
I gotta try.
Yeah, maybe I'll go to PAX Unplugged or PAX East or wherever.
Yeah.
But Gen Con's main priority.
Jenkin.
Jenkin.
But like last year it was so great to meet up with like Jordan and Graybeard.
Jordan, Graybeard, yeah, I got to meet them for a little bit. Sarah Lucian, the High Shelf Gaming.
All the people from High Shelf Gaming. That's so great.
Some Twitter peeps. I'll shout out Dread by Dawn, otherwise known as Rob, Barbarian Yasha, otherwise known as Emily. Very cool people that took time to meet up with me. And yeah. This year we'll meet up with even more people because even more people we know are coming.
Yeah. And we've talked about that on our last episode, but
yeah.
a good happy medium for actually going outside and meeting people.
Yeah. But the problem is those social experiences are only relegated in long, long, short bursts in certain parts of the year. So the other, however many days of the year, are spent inside in our apartments. I'm very much a natural introvert, and I'm the type of person who I don't go out of my way to make friends. People somehow come to me to make friends for whatever reason.
Which is super convenient.
That I cannot explain. I think people take pity on me and decide to be friends with me. And then once my true personality comes out, they're like, okay, yeah, I like you enough to stick around.
Oh.
And then once I'm with other friends, I have enough courage to make friends with other people. But yeah, no, I am very much the friend who leeches off other people's friends.
Introverts need extroverts.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it makes making IRL friends a challenge. Making internet friends, it's a little bit easier. Yeah. However, I do feel like I have to sometimes branch off the social successes of others. Particularly, I would not have felt brave enough to get into the online TTRPG community if someone had not already done so.
My entire channel's success is based off of yours, so.
No, you definitely paved your own way and had your own little following. Well, I did use some of my briefly acquired internet fame to promote you. I would say that you did the majority of the work of your work on your own.
Now I have a doggo to do the heavy lifting.
Yes, Lady will acquire all of the views. Once you implement your Bits for Belly Rub system, you're gonna be rolling in the charity money.
Yeah. Any profit. Yeah. Oh, she's such a good girl. I think it's time for her to go to bed, so we will wrap up pretty soon.
Yeah.
So, while you're facing your existential dread and trying to find content to distract you, who can we shout out?
Wow, great segue.
I try. So, Prairie Star Off the Table,
Yeah.
Indoor Adventure,
Yeah.
Open for Adventure,
Mm-hmm.
High Shelf Gaming, because TSB is about to do a game there.
Yeah, he's playing OD&D, the original D&D, the one that's designed to kill you, which is really funny and great. They rolled for characters. It's gonna be about like 2 more weeks before they get started with gameplay, but
so
yeah.
Probably like a day before this episode comes out.
Don't sell yourself short.
So yeah, that'll be happening pretty soon, and we will probably be in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as always, I have been Cybrwulf1201.
And I have been Kyle with an N.
And we are both very drunk and very tired. And we've got a few more games to play tomorrow. So.
All right. We love you. We love you, talkers.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us. And we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Silver Connor one day is going to get tired of all of our shenanigans and be like, fuck no. Elevator music.
Watch that get put on the B-side.
Truly.